this is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art. Today I want to talk about the Dutch artist Vincent van Gogh, in particular, why I love the Dutch artist Vincent van Gogh. I'm a fan of many artists, but I think Vincent van Gogh is probably one of my favorite artists. And there's many reasons why he's my favorite artist. I think one of them has to do with just his artwork itself. He has an unparalleled way of using the brushstroke. It's just so creative the way he's used the brushstroke. I love his brushstroke work. I just, love the work and the way he produced his art. I love his colors. Here is somebody that, his color combinations, the colors he chose. I just really love how he used colors. I happen to be someone who's more of a fan of brighter artwork than, the artwork that's very pastel or dull. I tend to like brighter colors. I like artwork that makes me feel happy. And I feel like a lot of Vincent van Gogh's artwork sort of, does that for me. He's got all of these different types of colors, his bold use of color palettes. It really, inspires me. He shows raw emotion. Like, he wasn't afraid to show his emotion in his artwork. And that really is something for an artist, because you're putting yourself out there when you put yourself into an artwork and you put your emotion into your artwork, you put your heart and soul into the artwork. And if somebody says, I don't like that, it can affect you as an artist. Vincent van Gogh wasn't afraid to put his emotion into the artwork. He wasn't afraid to show himself, and even himself in his worst of his situations, when he cut his ear off, he painted that. So he was not afraid to show that to the world. I love this about him, his vulnerability with his artwork, his showing up raw emotion within his artwork itself. He was a master of innovation and influence. He, was not afraid to break the norms of his time. Even though he sold hardly any paintings at all, he kept on the same path. He believed in himself. He believed in the path he was taking with his artwork. He believed in his art itself, and he didn't stray from that path. And that is also something else that I love about him, and love about him as an artist. It really is a story to each of us, if anyone out there is an artist too, or if you're doing something else in your life, to believe in yourself and to keep going. Even if other people may tell you that what you're doing is, why are you doing this? Why don't you paint other things? But he did not listen to them. He instead believed in himself. Vincent van Gogh is a story of resilience. He struggled a lot in his life. He had a lot of different struggles, and, he was in a lot of pain, emotional pain in particular, had a lot of mental challenges. He received very little recognition in his lifetime. In fact, there's a story of him after he cut his ear off where, the place he was staying in, a petition, they wanted to kick him out of the village. He had a lot of hardship, didn't really have many friends, wasn't really highly accepted. You can kind of understand the people too, like, who's this sort of weird artist guy? He hasn't sold any paintings. He's cut his ear off. He went to he took his ear and gave it to a prostitute. The prostitute called the police. So, he probably seemed like he was just a mental basket case. They didn't understand his genius at the time. And so you can understand a little bit about that, but yet he really showed us the story of resilience. And in fact, even though he, most likely killed himself, there's still some controversy to that, but he probably did, kill himself, whether it's accidental or on purpose. But, he really did have mental problems, and he knew he had mental problems, and he understood that he had mental problems. But yet at the same time, he was able to get past many of those and produce some of the greatest works of art that the world has ever seen today. And that really is a story of resilience, that he's more than just an artist from the past. For me, he's actually a source of inspiration. He inspires me in so many ways with his life and with his art itself. If you'd like to be able to read more about him, I have more written on this blog post about why I love the Dutch artist Vincent van Gogh. I'm going to put a link to the description below so that you'll be able to read it and be able to find it. We'd love to have you join with us, be part of our community, subscribe to us. We'd really love to have you, subscribe and just be part of part of what we're doing here, which is trying to spend 5 minutes each week and introduce something about art so you can learn something new about art. We are great believers in art. We believe that art should make you happy, art should make you smile, and that we should all be learning about art, because when you learn about art, it sure does make the world a better place. Thank you so much for listening and being part of our community. We really do appreciate you. And we'd like to thank our technical team who helps make this all possible. Thank you.